So I decided today would be a good time to start my series of videos about healing with God. And the first thing I want to start with is a method that I developed a long time ago, around maybe 2014. And it's a method for overcoming depression. And the reason that I'm doing this now is that I'm finding myself being hit very frequently with the depression frequencies. Very often when I wake up in the morning, I realise that I've been hit with them because I just feel it's that kind of end of the world feeling, and you shouldn't feel like that when you've just woken up in the morning, right? And of course, added to that, it's the situation I'm in. I mean, my whole life has been hijacked, and instead of the life that I had chosen, which was beautiful and fun, I've been literally tortured many times a day for over a decade now. Okay, and actually it was happening a long time before that. I guess I was in denial, and I was also under mind control to not notice certain things. So I developed this method, and I unknowingly, how do I say this? I didn't know at that time that I was under mind control, or that I was a trafficking victim, or that I was, gang stalked. I didn't know any of that. And what happened was that I was off work for 6 months with a back injury that now I don't think was a back injury at all, because I now know that one of the implants was right there where the pain was, and it's possible that, well, I think it's highly likely that they were just giving me pain there, because 6 months is a long time, and there didn't seem to be anything actually physical wrong with me. It was just a lot of pain. And they can do that. Yeah, they can do that. But during that time when I was off work, the thing is, I knew that I had been depressed. I didn't know that it was being deliberately caused, but I knew that I was, and I'd been diagnosed a couple of times in my life. I had been diagnosed with that. So as I had these 6 months off, I decided, okay, I'm going to do something about this. And I developed this method, which I'm going to tell you about today. The thing is, I don't think that the traffickers expected that. I think what they wanted was, they were giving me a lot of pain, which was making me not be able to work, and they were making me depressed. And I think they wanted me to go to the doctor and get antidepressants and see a psychiatrist and all of that, and I didn't do that. And actually all of that is part of my case, and I'm not going to go into it, but it's psychiatry fraud is a big part of my case. But today what I want to talk about is the actual method. The other reason I want to talk about this today is that a couple of people on Facebook were posting that they were depressed, and of course, all targeted individuals have this horrible situation that we're dealing with. So this is going to help all of us. So the method is called the High Five method. It's divided into 5 sections, which I've headlined: healthy mind, healthy body, connecting to God, support, and expansion. And then there's a little section that I call first aid kit for emergencies. And that is, the reason I've done that is that as you're going through, if you do this with me, as you're going through the method, all the little things that you find that work for you to get you out of a downward spiral, put those on a list and keep them handy, because that's going to be your first aid kit. When you find that you are, starting to feel very, very low, or you recognize that you're being hit with the depression frequencies, whenever it is that you realize, okay, I need to do something about this, that's when you go right to your first aid kit list and just pick something on there that is gonna, in the moment, get you out of that. Okay, so number one, healthy mind, and what I've put under that is healing frequencies. And this is something I was using myself, all different kinds of healing frequencies. And of course, in another video, I'll have to go through these one by one in more detail, okay? But you're going to find in the list of playlists, you'll find a playlist called Healing Frequency Music. And you could, even after listening to this, you could just try a few of those. You need to use headphones, and you need those headphones that have a right ear and a left ear, and you need to put the right one in each ear, because not all of these healing frequencies, but many of them include binaural beats, and that means that it's something different going into each ear, and it has to be the right ear. So that's why you need to do that. But it doesn't have to be expensive headphones. Just it needs to have a right and a left. Okay, it mustn't be the same sound coming out of both. Okay, I think they call that mono. I don't think many of them are like that anymore. So as I said, I was using healing frequencies a lot, many different kinds of them, and I will talk about that probably in another video. Then number two is healthy body, and the main key here is to every single day for at least 20 minutes walk, swim or exercise outside in the sunshine. And yeah, okay, not everyone lives in a sunny place, and it's sometimes winter and whatever, but okay, let's say outside in the fresh air if you can. Okay, and if not, open a window or something. Okay, and I don't know, march on the spot, or get, those rebounders are amazing. Anyway, I'll go into more detail about that. And also under that section is about improving your nutrition, and we're going to talk about all that too. Number three is connecting to God. And in that section, I've got prayer, affirmations, and gratitude. And I'll be talking more about those too. Number four is support. And this is important. You need a trustworthy, non-judgmental friend to talk to. And honestly, the best one I know is God. And, or if you happen to have a dog. And isn't it interesting how those two words are each other spelled backwards, right? And then the last one is expansion. And it's about reading or listening to inspiring books, trying new things that interest you, doing something that you've always wanted to, and giving yourself like little treats just to lift your spirits. And it's all about basically making your world bigger. Okay, looking outside your immediate situation, because I think that helps a lot. And I don't think I really want to make this too long. I just wanted to have an intro to that. And I wanted to say, if anyone, wants to message me about this, do so. And if anyone wants help with this, we can do an email thing, that's no problem. I am doing this now because I need it. And so I'll be sharing all the things that have helped me, and I'm going to be real about it. There are days, I'm telling you, today was one of those days. That's why I'm saying this is a good time for me to be doing this, because I got out of bed late and then I went back to bed. I'm just feeling very, very low. But I use some of these methods, and so that's what I want to talk about. And if it helps anybody else, then that would be brilliant. So what I would say is, if you're interested and you need some personal help with this, just put a message under the video, or send me an email, or message me on Facebook or something. And in the meantime, if you are in this situation, even this is for everyone who's dealing with depression, not just targeted individuals. I would say, in the meantime, start with the healing frequency music. Just maybe take a quick look down that playlist, try a few of them, start listening. And maybe start doing your first aid kit. So that would be thinking about what kinds of things, when you're really feeling low or in a downward thinking spiral, what are those things that gets you out of it? And they'll be different for everyone. We're all different. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that until next time. God bless you all.